work in the morning, so we're gonna do this real quick. We get through it. You know, we gotta play some music. Um, let's go. A special report.
Phenom Rogue One Productions.
Beat thumping, and we got the streets jumping. Baby, drop it to the floor, let me see. Make that ass do tricks, baby, keep stunting. Back flips, do the spray that heat on it. In the VIP, till the club over here. Sit her on my lap, and she whispered in my ear. She said she wanna get a room, and she made it clear. Girl, get cold, baby girl, let's get up out of here. Be a bug, she had a 745. She took my new music as we fucking drive. I was going all deep when I got inside. In the hotel suite. Blew my mind. Next day, schedule the next date. Next date, gonna have some sex play. Yes, day, it's gonna be your best day. Yes, day, I'll relieve your stress. Party started, this party started, this party started, and this girl's party started. This party started. This party started, this party started, yeah, this good party started, this party started, this party started, this party started, yeah, this party started, this party started, this party started, party started, yeah, this party started, party beat rocking, haters in the feds watching, they mad I was getting head out of Red Robin, I can't stop it, yeah, she kept her head bobbing, turn the music on, bang, keep your heads nodding, speakers knocking, baby love the fucking drop it, to the flow, break it up, you know how I like it, keep it flowing, gotta keep the party going, now we smoking, after that she keep it blowing, where we going, to the room to get her open, keep dropping up the side, make her feel the motion, now we coasting, smoking weed, got us floating, fucking out the drive-in while the movie going, getting naughty, time to start another party, all these women died up better than the body, super baby ride it like a Harley. She got her older best friend, look like Tina Harley. This party started, this party started, this party started, yeah, this party started, this party started, this party started, this party started, yeah, this party started, this party started, this party started, this party started, yeah, this party started, this party started, this party started, yeah, this party started, get your party up.
You already know.
It won't be no water in a new world. Child of the ghetto, I was raised by a cruel world. Life is a bitch, but I just bought her some new pearls. This bitch, hold her in the clip. She my new girl, yeah. And she my dog, she my dog. If I feed a bullet, she gon' be walking all night long, yeah. And I'm a dog, I'm a dog. She only hit my line when she want a pussy dog, huh? With my dogs, where you at, Mr. Fuck the government? That's my dog. That's my dog, That's my dog, yeah. And my dog, Smokey voice. Sovereignty, my only choice. Will sell my soul for no one voice. I call silence holy noise. See, my demons got some poise. The abyss in my eyes, witness the void. I'm ready to die, nigga. You can live like a goy. In the spirit realm, I'm undefeated, feel like Floyd. The devil tried to buy my soul, I know that boy annoyed. Full-time crash out, don't ask where I'm employed. Don't ask me, nigga. I'm a dog. This bitch hold 100, can't even fit in my drawers. I'm a dog, I'm a dog.
Yeah, low-key, that's my dog. About to load up the chopper, knock your brains on the wall, yeah, low-key, that's my dog. About to load up the chopper, knock your brains on the wall, bitch. Know the dog, gotta send it off like a motherfucking rocky, yeah, bitch, you taking off. I'm a dog, yeah, I'm taking charge. I'll rip your ass apart if you step into my yard. I'm a dog, yeah, I got a bar screen, fucking government, yeah, I'm killing all of y'all. I'm a dog, see you looking soft, y'all want the club banging this, ain't that type of song. It's a murder, gotta call it bloody murder. My dog's hungry, now your people getting nervous. Picture perfect, pull back the iron curtain. It's not a simulation here, it's a prison circus. Now you're running, women 10, 1100. Got some money, shit cost 700. Get the bussin', pop a cow in the stomach. Pop the witnesses when they ain't saying nothing.
Where we at?
Hurricane 313.
Detroit rhythm. From the projects to the stage, I made it through my dark days. Now I'm rolling up a J, smoking weed, getting paid, putting clothes in my suitcase. Bought they head to the UK. I was surviving, now I'm thriving. Baby girl about to get naughty, that's her assignment. Want you to be my girl, I'm Frankie Lyman. Let's create the planetary alignment. You know how to love me, Phyllis Hyman. Me and you together brighter than diamonds. We got Bonnie and Clyde, there's no denying. Government run up, we not complying. Viva la revolution, we all surviving. We gotta get away, so baby, you do the driving.
Hurricane 313. Hurricane 313.
Living legend on the microphone. Shout out to the people in every time zone. Middle finger to haters, y'all niggas minds gone. I guess y'all haters mad because my mind's strong. I walked through the fire, I kept my grind on. In the midst of the darkness, I kept my shine on. In the midst of addiction, I couldn't find home. Put that bottle down and got my rhyme on. My quick fix to rip shit, linguistics, intricate kicks, wicked, I'm so ballistic. Spit fast and I spit quick, you listen, Mr. Listen or blink, you might just miss it. This with shattered fates like dinner plates. Chillin' in the UK, having dinner dates. I ain't going nowhere, girl, I'm finna stay. Killing every hater standing in my way.
Hurricane 313. Hurricane 313.
So cool in this old school. Hurricane coming through with these cold moves. Spitting this new shit, you haters old news. Put the gas in the hospital, yelling whole blue. Understand I'm the best, you got a coke, dude. Should've seen all the mountains I had to burst through. All the bitches that play me, that fucking hurts too. She lucky cause the old me would've murked you. In a whole new mind frame, my rhyme game make the time change, avoiding all of the mind games. Now my flows give you migraines, these high flames, all you rappers lame. You scared to step up in my lane. Sound master, coming to blast master, lyrical spell caster, supernatural disaster, metaphysical flows, putting holes in souls, and all you haters is getting exposed, and you will explode. Sick flows, beats slicker than Crisco. Call my music radio, you know this is a hit, ho. I should just stop and flip bows and get goons, kick in your dough, make everybody just get low. So low, so out of control, whoa. Detroit the rhythm, the cataclysm is so cold. Oh, soul, spitting lyrical soul flow. Had to look within to make my soul glow.
You know. Now let's get to this new track. This is the new exclusive. What the hell is it? I know I bought it over here. There it goes. New exclusive for the new project. I'm dropping Revenge and Retribution. This is going on the Revenge album. Shout out to DJ Grace for the beat.
Selling Flintstones with the bam bam. Gotta kick your ass like I'm Van Dam. Split kick your ass through a Trans Am. Came from the Badlands, Detroit City, I'm a madman. Shooting at the feds on my last stand. Ripping out your eyes like I'm Sandman. The girl swallow roll balls, then this is Pac-Man. But I'm the Pac-Man. Got a bunch of drugs in my lack, man. My guest sports, they all driving black vans. Some got an AK, some got an AR, some got the automatic solid time radar. That's above your pay grade. Kill before the day break. I have the world head spinning like a Beyblade. Dual wielding AKs, feeling like a Rambo. My girl got a sniper hiding out in the bando. Turn the pit to bacon, eradicate the stations, hijack the news and spread it to the nation. New domination, rebel operation. Only way to get it is we need cooperation. For the generation that will come after. Cyberpunk rebels, they ain't scared to blast you.
Shoot you in the head, son of a hoe. Do you want some more? Shoot the cricket combat is dome. It's time to go. Shoot you in the head, son of a hoe. Do you want some more? Shoot the cricket bed is dome. It's time to go. Shoot you in the head, son of a hoe. Do you want some more? Shoot the cricket combat is dome. It's time to go. Shoot you in the head, son of a hoe. Do you want some more? Shoot the cricket bed is dome. It's time to go.
Blast at the officers, raid all the offices, kill every narcissist and burn all the carcasses, burn all the paperwork, destroy all the data work, make sure every data center fucking stay alert. Run to your hideouts, run to your bunkers, run to your God, hope he save you motherfuckers. Crazy motherfucker, that's an understatement. I'm like the Joker, better watch what you're saying. Carve your whole face off, put it on the mannequin. Hardcore flows, this the style that is damaging. Yes, I'ma slap ya, throw you in a nuclear reactor. Your body gon' melt seconds after. Walk in disaster. No, I'm not your ordinary rapper. Y'all in the street plants is some bastards, so I gotta blast you with these cold flows that I master to the dark abyss where I cast you.
Shoot you in the head, son of a hoe. Do you want some more? Shoot the cricket combat is dome. It's time to go. Shoot you in the head, son of a hoe. Do you want some more? Shoot the cricket bed is dome. It's time to go. Shoot you in the head, son of a hoe. Do you want some more? Shoot the cricket combat is dome. It's time to go. Shoot you in the head, son of a hoe. Do you want some more? Shoot the cricket bed is dome. It's time to go.
Beyond the sorcerer, beyond the alchemist, God level flow, so many advantages. I am the catalyst, smoke a lot of cannabis. With this ammonite, they call me K, the accident. Destroy the Vatican, destroy the Parliament, kill the president, turn his head to an ornament. Iron fist tournament, I'll become the victor. Hurricane got a storm's #1 killer.
You already know. With that double play. New and exclusive. Hit him again.
Selling Flintstones with the bam bam. Gotta kick your ass like I'm Van Dam. Split kick your ass through a Trans Am. Came from the Badlands, Detroit City, I'm a madman. Shooting at the feds on my last stand. Ripping out your eyes like I'm Sandman. The girl swallow roll balls, then Mrs. Pac-Man. But I'm the Pac-Man. Got a bunch of drugs in my lack, man. My guest sports, they all driving black vans. Some got an AK, some got an AR, some got the automatic solid time radar. That's above your pay grade. Kill before the day break. I have the world head spinning like a Beyblade. Do it with an AKs, feeling like a Rambo. My girl got a sniper hiding out in the bando. Turn the pig to bacon, eradicate the stations, hijack the news and spread it to the nation. New domination, rebel operation. Only way to get it is we need cooperation. For the generation that will come after. Cyberpunk rebels, they ain't scared to blast you.
Shoot you in the head, son of a hoe. Do you want some more? Shoot the cricket cob in his dome. It's time to go. Shoot you in the head, son of a hoe. Do you want some more? Shoot the cricket head in his dome. It's time to go. Shoot you in the head, son of a hoe. Do you want some more? Shoot the cricket cob in his dome. It's time to go. Shoot you in the head, son of a hoe. Do you want some more? Shoot the cricket head in his dome. It's time to go.
Blast at the officers, raid all the offices, kill every narcissist and burn all the carcasses, burn all the paperwork, destroy all the data work, make sure every data center fucking stay alert. Run to your hideouts, run to your bunkers, run to your God, hope he save you motherfuckers. Crazy motherfucker, that's an understatement. I'm like the Joker, better watch what you're saying. Carve your whole face off, put it on the mannequin. Hardcore flows, this the style that is damaging. Yes, I'ma slap you, throw you in a nuclear reactor. Your body gon' melt seconds after. Walk in disaster. No, I'm not your ordinary rapper. Y'all in the street plants is some bastards. So I gotta blast you with these cold flows that I master to the dark abyss where I cast you.
Shoot you in the head, son of a hoe. Do you want some more? Shoot the cricket cob in his dome. It's time to go. Shoot you in the head, son of a hoe. Do you want some more? Shoot the cricket head in his dome. It's time to go. Shoot you in the head, son of a hoe. Do you want some more? Shoot the cricket cob in his dome. It's time to go. Shoot you in the head, son of a hoe. Do you want some more? Shoot the cricket head in his dome. It's time to go.
Beyond the sorcerer, beyond the alchemist, God level flow, so many advantages. I am the catalyst, smoke a lot of cannabis. With examinate the cocaine in your accident. Destroy the Vatican, destroy the parliament, kill the president, turn his head to an ornament. Iron fist tournament, I'll be the hurricane got a storm's #1 killer.
All right, that's the new. I said I could be wrong, but I ain't make the beat. That was DJ Graves. He already got enough bass in it. But I heard different versions. This is the last version because he sent me 2 other versions before this. This was his final product. So I was like, sounds cool. But let's get to this It was this.
Hell of a story. A man gets arrested
But shouts out
for
to
buying
Mo. Shout out to
marijuana in
everybody.
a state where it's legal to buy marijuana and then traveling back home across state lines. The cop that did this used Flok cameras to arrest the man buying some damn marijuana in a state where it's legal. Here's the story.
Wisconsin police used Flok to track a man across state lines into Michigan, where weed is legal, and back into Wisconsin, where weed is not. And they used the fact that he went to Michigan as the pretext to search his car for a weed arrest. So this is pulled from court records that I obtained. It basically follows this man from Green Bay down here. The first Flok hit happened right here. And that was at 2 p.m. on April 26th, 2025. They then tracked him up Route 41, which is this road right here. They tracked him going north, and they got Flok hits all along the way. So there's one Brown Road and US 41. Then they tracked him up to Marinette. And so this right here is the state line between Wisconsin and Michigan. This is the state line right here. And they tracked his car going into Michigan. And then a few hours later, caught him coming back into Wisconsin. They used this as the pretext to pull him over and search his car. He was ultimately pulled over right around here.
What are we doing? Put it up for mass.
Put it up for mass.
According to 404 Media, police in Wisconsin, they decided to use Flok cameras to determine that a man who quote, travels to Michigan frequently, where marijuana is legal, he travels back to Wisconsin, where it is illegal. They then used his travel across state lines as tracked by these Flok cameras as part of the probable cause justification to search his car for marijuana. He was eventually arrested for possession of marijuana. The searches came to light in a Wisconsin criminal complaint against Edward Abrams Phillips, who was wanted for bail jumping on domestic violence charges. But the criminal complaint makes clear that beyond the bail jumping and domestic violence charges, police specifically studied Abrams Phillips' interstate travel to create the pretext searching his car for marijuana.
Wow.
The bail jumping charge was actually dismissed. Abrams Phillips was criterion for, Abrams Phillips found guilty due to possession of the criteria of possession of marijuana. That's it. That's according to the court records, nothing else. Now, here's why this is dangerous. Obviously, if this stands, you have precedent. Okay? That means that your local police department is able to investigate you outside of their known jurisdiction. Yep. Not only outside of their known jurisdiction, but also across state lines, which typically would require the federal government to get involved once a crime reaches a state-to-state dynamic. However, they're utilizing an investigative tool in order to test the system, and marijuana is the case. The complaint explains that Abrams Phillips was tracked via Flok's network over the course of the day to determine that he drove from Wisconsin to Michigan, a known source state for marijuana, as it is once again legal there. The complaint states, adding that previous Flok hits indicated that he travels to Michigan frequently. Please note that using Flok, they were able to track Abrams Phillips driving from Wisconsin to Michigan,
That's some bullshit.
then back to Wisconsin over the course of several hours, where he was pulled over and arrested. The Flok searches and arrest happened in April 2025. Just a reminder, there's nothing criminal about going to a state frequently and coming back home.
Exactly.
It is not illegal. It is not probable cause just because you travel.
Right.
And you have the right of interstate travel. We don't talk about this fundamental right enough, but you have the right as a citizen to travel to whatever state you choose, however many times you choose. It's the right of interstate travel and interstate commerce. It is not difficult to imagine police in one state using Flok to track a resident of their state cross state lines to, for example, obtain an abortion that is legal in one state but not in another. Last year, 404 Media reported on police in Texas who searched more than 80,000 cameras across Flok's nationwide network for a woman who had a self-administered abortion. The case is also concerning, considering that Flok cameras have popped up outside of marijuana dispensaries in Michigan. The Jars Cannabis Dispensary in Madison Heights, Michigan, went viral this week for putting a, quote, no Flok zone sign in front of a Flok camera in their parking lot.
Wow.
Quote, we share our community's concerns about increased surveillance, which is why we place the no Flok zone sign in front to block its ability to record, end quote. The dispensary said in a public statement, quote, after we installed our no Flok zone sign, the city issued a demand letter warning of sanctions if we do not remove the sign within 48 hours. Here's some interesting news. Every Flok licensed reader camera operated by the Winona Police Department, that's in Minnesota, has been sawed off and stolen in what investigators believe
That's right.
was a coordinated theft.
That's right.
All 8 cameras were taken on August 1st. That's according to the local police department. Each camera is valued at about $3,000, putting the total loss to $24,000. The cost falls directly on the local police department and their budget. Yeah, you hate to see that. There's a pattern of communities resisting hyper surveillance. All right. So there you have it. You got to challenge this in court, obviously, in order to set the record straight, because lawmakers, well, they don't have the spine.
Yep. Now you got, I think it was this one.
Yeah.
So you were very
Not yet. Is this one right here.
Absolutely crazy. Take a look at this.
Police with guns drawn pull over a car they say was flagged by Flok cameras in connection to a homicide out of Milwaukee. Well, turns out this was all some sort of mishap with the Flok camera systems. In fact, Yorkville police say they called Milwaukee police and MPD said they no longer needed the car or the people inside, so officers let them go. But, you know, this has really become a point of contention, Flok cameras as a whole, as more reports of misuse by law enforcement across the country arise.
This could have gone wrong in so many different ways. We stopped her on an interstate, guns drawn, all because of a faulty Flok system. And what's even more insane, the person that the police had stopped, Amber Newell, said that this is the second time this has happened to her in a span of a week.
in North Carolina, you better be careful, because we got monkeys out here now, and I'm not even kidding. I'm about to put a video on this to prove it. But me and my son, we're out fishing today. Right here, there's one real close right here. Right there.
Holy shit, that's a fucking monkey.
In freaking North Carolina. I've never seen a monkey when I was out fishing. I never even thought I would. The only thing I can think of, I looked it up and said, no, monkeys are not native to North Carolina. But I seen a story where, I think a year ago, where there was like 40-some monkeys that escaped some facility in South Carolina. Some kind of facility where they were doing some kind of whatever testing on them. And I guess that they done made their way to North Carolina.
Damn.
So if you live in North Carolina and you're out fishing, careful, because you might run into a damn monkey out there.
And plus,
that video was by Upcharge 101, and that's what I thought of too, those 43 monkeys that had escaped from a lab. But supposedly we were told they captured all 43. Maybe that was a lie to buy them more time.
But there was another case, I forgot where, but the monkey attacked the lady on the highway, I guess.
I don't fully remember, but like the lady was attacked. But I ain't know about the 43 monkeys that was in North Carolina that escaped. That shit slipped under my nose. Damn.
Time, or perhaps every once in a while.
It's like the memory came back of the female getting attacked. Because like that's the first thing came to my mind. But he talked about 43 monkeys. Unless I covered the case and forgot about it. But like I remember covering the case of the lady getting attacked by the monkeys. But I don't remember this.
They released one or two of these lab monkeys into the wild. It does look like the same type of monkey that was from that lab, but I mean, it could easily be somebody's pet, but that's the first thing I thought of was these lab monkeys. And I know somebody's probably clenching their butt cheeks and typing. These are obviously not the same monkeys. One is a short-haired rhesus, and the other is a 1972 skidoo. I've been for over 20 years, and you're always spreading misinformation and disinformation, and it's like, relax, right? Let us all relax and focus on what's at hand.
AI is going viral, literally. Scientists use artificial intelligence to create 16 new viruses. It's an important step in the race to combat rising drug resistance within germs. Tests showed some of the manufactured viruses could overcome antibacterial resistance in some E. coli strains.
The manufacturing viruses to stop other viruses? That's like saying, like, we're about to use the radiation to get rid of cancer. And once you do get rid of it with the radiation, you're going to need to get rid of the original radiation. Shout out to people that really survive cancer, man. Because y'all getting blasted with fucking radiation. Jesus fucking Christ. But I talk about AIs making viruses. What?
Viruses don't pose a threat to people because they are only able to infect bacteria. But the study adds the concern that AI could someday lead to the creation of new biological weapons.
Once they motherfucking put the nanos in your ass, that shit is going to connect with the nanos already in your body. It's going to be a wrap. Y'all niggas retarded.
So yeah, as you heard in that news report, scientists are using AI to create viruses never seen in nature before, completely from scratch. The authors of this study relied on an AI model called Evo, which is similar in some ways to OpenAI's ChatGPT. And supposedly they said the viruses created by the AI do not pose a threat to humans because they are all similar to a naturally occurring virus called Phi-X-174, which can infect only bacteria. But here's the thing, even if they were telling the truth about this, which I highly doubt, these viruses that are created by the AI are similar, but they're not the same thing that occurs by nature, which means anything can go wrong. Similar is the key word, meaning it can still do its own thing and have its own mutation. When it came to studying these AI-created viruses, in many of the dishes, the microbes grew peacefully. Evo's genomes had failed, but in one dish, researchers noticed clear dots appearing in the cloudy film of bacteria, the sign of multiplying viruses. The DNA that the scientists had inserted into the bacteria had produced protein shells that contained viral genes. The viruses burst out of the cells, leaving behind the ruptured husk of their dead host. They say they're creating these new AI viruses to help advance medical science and create new jabs, but it just feels like once again they're trying to play God. Let's not forget that news story that came out not that long ago where they are creating these synthetic cells that can grow like normal cells into a life form. So what exactly are they creating? But it just doesn't stop there. Oh no, scientists will have to run more experiments to find out if Evo has the same success rate if it's trained on other groups of viruses. If so, Dr. Crook, very interesting name. They always have to put it in our faces. Might as well call him Dr. Bad Guy. Expected that scientists might find some AI-generated viruses that could become useful tools for medicine and biotechnology. Other researchers and scientists not connected to this project are concerned that these AI-created viruses
can create some sort of new pathogen or some sort of bioweapon, this definitely has all the vibes of something you'd hear from Resident Evil. And if they're telling us about this now, then they have been doing this for a long, long time. And as I believe, AI is a lot older than what they tell the public. Scientists synthesizing viruses from scratch is nothing new. They've been doing that for a long time. But what's different here is that these scientists, supposedly anyway, taught AI to recognize patterns of DNA structure in nature and then use that data to write recipes for entire viruses. The AI created over 300 of these viruses, 302 to be exact. I'm surprised it wasn't 330, and only 16 met their expectations. With all these weird and strange experiments that these scientists are doing, it brings me back to an article that goes back to May 2026 that you don't really hear many people talk about. For example, this article from science.org, Not Alive But Not Dead, embodied human brains used for drug tests. So what's been happening is that this company called Bexorg has been getting all these human brains. At the time of that article, it was over 700 human brains that they had acquired that they said that they had gotten through quote-unquote donors. But who really knows how they got in these brains? Hours after the person had passed away, they take the brain, sit it on a cart, drape it in tubes that quiver as they pump liters of blood substitute and other fluids through the organ, supplying oxygen and removing waste. With most of the brain's key functions intact but its electrical activity quenched by anesthesia, they say the brain hovers between life and death. As it metabolizes experimental drugs, sensors records its reactions, capturing hundreds of data points on its cells, proteins, and physiology. Then after 24 hours in this state, it will be sliced into hundreds of pieces for a more detailed study. This sounds like everything out of a horror movie, but they say that this system promises far more realistic conditions for testing drugs than lab animals and cells in a dish. And maybe, right, maybe one day this will have some sort of benefit for humanity, but who really knows at the end of the day? Because I do remember a long time ago, they said that they were going to use brain organoids to help solve all kinds of diseases. But we're getting news articles now that they're using these brain organoids and trapping them in a game of doom, which is essentially hell.
So where are they getting these whole donated human brains? Right. Let's go on to continue. Who's missing brains in history? Let's look at it. The list goes on. It's Einstein. It's JFK, Vladimir Lenin, Benito Mussolini, Rene Descartes, the former Prime Minister of Japan. His name is Hisashi Hamaguchi. Charles Babbage, he was the father of the computer, right? And they're saying that they're not lobotomizing people. They're saying that, oh, we're not taking people's brains against their will. They're fully donated. Who's donating their entire brain? Nobody's donating their brain. It's all these elites that want to preserve their brain and have immortality through AI being integrated with their brain. They want to come back to life. This is literally happening. You can look it up for yourself. Go to Bexorg's website. See it for yourself. Let's talk more about Bexorg.
Now, I'm sure there's some people out there willing to donate their brain to science, but being an organ donor does not include the brain. But what's an interesting rabbit hole to go down into, I'm not saying it's actually happening, just a theory that there are companies out there offering people cryogenics. They can freeze themselves in hopes of being unfrozen and revived at a future date. But I do wonder if it's all ploy to take people's organs, including their brains, because as of 2024, over 500 people had frozen themselves, and as of 2026, this company has about 700 brains. Now, I'm not saying that's what's happening, but it's an interesting thought. So this is pretty weird. About a week or 2 weeks ago, it came out that a company
Yep, the company was on some bullshit. Now let's get to the meat and potatoes. Like, or is the rest of it right here? Yeah, they fucking with brains. I didn't grab the rest of that. So I gotta go down here. Right here. What up, though?
Yeah. So you were very big on trying to expose the origins of the COVID virus, which was Tony Fauci's funding the gain-of-function research, which he lied to Congress about twice. Yeah. The NIH admitted they were funding it. Yeah. We all know that he did it through, after Obama put a moratorium on it, he funded gain-of-function research through Echo Health Alliance, which is a CIA cutout, and which brought us the COVID pandemic, right? And so, but you were also saying that the West Africa Ebola outbreak of 2014, which I remember clearly, did it have a lab origin and there's a critical COVID connection. Tell us about what you say in this Substack.
Sure, but I think I was like one of the first people. I mean, I was at a CDC news conference in February of 2020, and I asked them, is it a complete coincidence that this is happening in Wuhan, the only city in China with a BSL-4 lab? And they gave me a bunch of baloney and so on. And they actually said, well, there were all of these allegations in West Africa in 2014, so we have to be careful about putting out bad information. And I had heard from Africans that there was some skepticism about that. So I dug into this. It turns out, you remember the propaganda apparatus that said that it come from a lab regarding COVID that Fauci helped orchestrate. One of them was a Nature Medicine article. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Jimmy?
so the scientists are in studying where this virus came from. They all privately admitted to themselves that they thought it came from a lab, and then Fauci gave them millions and millions of dollars in funding and grants, and they completely flipped, and they published an article which used to show, look, even though it wasn't peer reviewed, he used that to say, oh, look, this is where it didn't come from a lab. It came, and so that was all a lie. We all know now because of the Freedom of Information Act, we got their emails. So that's what you're talking about, that those scientists got corrupted by Fauci giving them millions of dollars to lie.
That was part of it. Another part of it is that those two scientists, Christian, a really long paper summarized on my Substack with Jonathan Latham, a virologist, and we dug in deep, building off of reporting done by Africans, including Chernobyl and others, and the whole story just falls apart.
Oh shit, it's buffing. God damn. Fucking YouTube. All right, it's back. Fuck it, we'll start it back
funding
a little
and grants, and they completely flipped.
We'll go back a little bit.
They published an article called "The Proximal Origins," which Fauci used to show, look, even though it wasn't peer reviewed, he used that to say, oh, look, this is where it didn't come from a lab. And so that was all a lie. We all know now because of the Freedom of Information Act, we got their emails. So that's what you're talking about, that those scientists got corrupted by Fauci giving them millions of dollars to lie.
That was part of it. Another part of it is that those two scientists, Christian Anderson of Scripps Research and Robert Gary of Tulane University, they had a lab in West Africa,
no kidding,
in Kenema, which was implicated in the Ebola 2014 outbreak.
No kidding.
So they had this other, I would argue, even deeper motive to covering this stuff up, because if people understood as COVID was ravaging, was going around the planet and everything, and the focus of everybody, that it could have lab origin, the next question would be, or one of the next questions would be, what about other outbreaks? And so I dug into this. I wrote a really long paper summarized on my Substack with Jonathan Latham, a virologist, and we dug in deep, building off of reporting done by Africans, including Chernobyl, and others, and the whole story just falls apart, that it had a natural origin. The team that went in there couldn't find any Ebola in the natural wildlife, which always happens when there's an outbreak. The Ebola is not endemic to West Africa. It's endemic to the Congo, which is 1,000 miles away. The child that was supposed to be the index case, the people in the village say that he died of malaria, not Ebola. They claimed that he got Ebola by eating bats. They couldn't find any bats in the village that had Ebola. It was all, and Jonathan did a genomic analysis, which indicated that there was a massive outbreak that actually originated in Sierra Leone, where the lab was. And what they did was they pinned it on this boy in this village just over the border in Guinea. So they can say the outbreak started in Guinea to get people to lose sight of the fact that the outbreak actually started in Sierra Leone, which is where the lab is, in Kenema, Sierra Leone. So they used a whole series of mechanisms to obscure that in all likelihood it actually came from a facility there. It tied into other groups, by the way. Metabiota was part of this group in Kenema with Robert Gary and Christian Anderson, the Viral Hemorrhagic Fever Consortium. People might remember Metabiota is tied into Ukraine. and Hunter Biden and all of the labs in Ukraine as well. So, I mean, part of it is a huge grift. And when people think about the labs in Ukraine, those are mostly just a grift so that people like Hunter Biden can make some cash. But the labs in West Africa were actually doing serious work on things like Ebola and Lassa fever and other things, which are incredibly dangerous and which likely caused, one of the major crises of 2014.
So you're saying that the scientists who lie that
Correct.
the COVID came from natural origins instead of a lab, that those scientists were implicated. There's evidence to implicate them in creating the Ebola virus in West Africa. That's what you're saying.
That's correct. So they're in effect, I don't look at this as individual outbreaks. I see a system, all right? And the system's got to cover up for itself. So, they want to continue doing this dangerous lab work and getting tons of money for it. And it's in effect biowarfare because they're creating deadly pathogens, which could be used for military purposes. So they want to cover up for COVID origins so that they don't get scrutinized in their culpability for Ebola origins of 2014. Exactly.
Wow, that is great work. Thank you, sir. That is why do you think more people aren't talking about that? How can you?
I am shocked. I mean, I met with Senator Johnson's staff.
Ron Johnson?
Yeah, because he was all about COVID origins and all of this stuff. And I sat down with them for, 90 minutes and laid out the whole case. And they took diligent notes and didn't do anything. And I've tried to reach out to Rand Paul and other people. And he's, obviously scrutinized Fauci and everything. But get beyond just, as bad as forces Fauci has been on COVID. And before I say that, I should say Fauci has been a horrific force for such a long time on this.
Yeah.
We actually got to go back to at least the anthrax attacks.
Yeah.
Right, the anthrax attacks right after 9/11 were sent to members of Congress and others, and it was determined through independent investigation that they actually came from a U.S. or U.S. allied lab.
Yeah.
Because it was a false flag attack,
yes.
Right? Because the letters came: "Death to America, death to Israel, praise to Allah." Right after 9/11, it was all part of, set up to make people, terrified of the Muslim threat and all of that. And so Fauci started pouring money into even more of this dangerous lab work. And a bunch of scientists in 2015, 700 scientists, put out a petition saying, you got to cut this out. You're distorting our field with flooding the money for all of this dangerous lab work. It's undermining the academic credentials of this field. And Fauci basically brushed them aside, saying the American people have told us through their elected representatives, this is the Cheney-Bush junta that he's referring to, have told us that they want this work done. Now, it can either be done other agencies, meaning the CIA and the military, or it can be done through the NIH. And we want a seat at the table, so we're going to take this money and we're going to ram it down the throats of various academic institutions. So he's been driving this entire field in this, but it's got to go beyond Fauci. It's a whole field. Like you said, the DASAC or the EcoHealth Alliance is a substantial part of it, but there's a whole network of these scientists from the Netherlands to the University of Wisconsin doing all of this dangerous lab work and getting tons of funding for it, and in effect making pathogens more deadly.
Yep. I think that was it for that. I don't know what the hell happened. Oh, yeah. Okay, yep. Yep, that was it. I don't know how that was the end, but yep. I guess it cut off on me. Nah, I think I stopped it. But yeah. Shouts out there, everybody. This is a quick HHN special report. Much love to my UK correspondent, Vonta. Fuck you too for fucking with your channel. Don't worry, we're gonna find another spot. The fuck this YouTube. But till then, shout out to everybody in the chat. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody's gonna watch on the playback. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.